If you're unsure what's what when it comes to the legalities of vehicle weights, and you're unsure what things like MAM, GVW, train weight, C1 licence and upplating are, and why they're important, then stick with us as we dive into everything you need to know when it comes to vehicle weight. Don't forget to check out our other videos on everything campervan and motorhome related, from solar to water, heating to gadgets, tyres to trips. If you like this video, please do hit the thumbs up, it really does help me to know what you like, and you can ask any questions or give feedback in the comments. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of our future videos, please hit the subscribe button, and clicking the bell will give you a notification when a new video goes live. Finally, if you do decide to hit the thumbs down, it would be great if you could also leave a comment so I know what you didn't like. Whether you're converting your own van or you have a pre-converted motorhome or campervan, then knowing about and considering your weight limits is important, not only for your licence, but for your and others' safety on the road. In this video, we're going to look at some of the different weight limits you may hear about, what they mean, and why you might need to think about them. So let's get on with it. Let's start with why understanding the weight of your vehicle is important. Well, first of all, you need to know that the driving licence you hold permits you to drive the vehicle. You also need to know that the overall weight of the vehicle you're driving doesn't exceed what it's authorised for. Otherwise, you run the risk of fines and prosecution, or even in some EU countries, having your vehicle confiscated. There's also the safety aspect that the vehicle may only be designed for the maximum authorised mass, and that your insurance could be invalidated. If your licence does allow it, it's worth thinking before going for a vehicle with a higher maximum authorised mass that this could affect the routes you're able to take and the tolls you pay in some EU countries. So now let's look at the key weights you need to know. The weight plate on your vehicle shows some of these. First, there is the maximum authorised mass, also referred to as the gross vehicle weight or sometimes the plated weight. MAM, or maximum authorised mass, means the weight of the vehicle including the load that can be carried safely when it's being used on the road. So that's the total weight of the vehicle with everything in it when it's being driven. If you exceed this figure, you are at risk of prosecution. The only real way to tell the actual weight of your vehicle when it's in use is to take it to a weighbridge and weigh it with everything in it, including passengers, equipment, food, and anything else you carry. Next, we've got the maximum train weight, also referred to as gross train weight or gross combination weight. This is the maximum weight of the vehicle and the weight of any trailer it is towing. Next, we've got the two maximum axle weights. This shows the maximum weight for each axle, front and back. When you go to the weighbridge, make sure they weigh each axle, as even if your MAM is below the limit, if one of your actual axle weights is above the limit for that axle, you could also be prosecuted, though you would usually be allowed to redistribute your load to make it legal. Axle weight is particularly affected by loads put on the back of a van or motorhome, which we'll talk a bit more about later. The next two weights aren't on the plate, but you may be able to find the first one from the vehicle manufacturer. This is mass in running order. This is the total weight of a vehicle when it's empty and ready to be used on the road without carrying any passengers, goods or other items. It will usually include the driver at 85 kilograms, the body, all parts normally used with the vehicle, along with essential fluids like oil and a full tank of fuel. But it's worth remembering it doesn't include any additional extras that have been added to the vehicle's standard spec, like solar panels or bike racks. Obviously, the mass in running order of an empty van prior to conversion will not include for any of the furniture and equipment that's going to be put into the vehicle. Finally, we have payload. This is the difference between the mass in running order and the maximum authorised mass. Essentially, it's how much weight you can add to the vehicle from its standard spec without exceeding the maximum authorised mass. Shortly we'll have a look at a few examples to try and bring it to life, but first let's have a look at driving licences. In the UK, if you have a standard car licence, you will see Category B on your licence. This allows you to drive vehicles up to 3,500 kilograms, that's 3.5 tonnes. If you have completed your HGV test, you will see Category C on your licence, and this allows you to drive large vehicles over 3.5 tonnes. But if you passed your car test prior to January the 1st, 1997, you are likely to have the C1 category on your licence, which allows you to drive vehicles up to 7.5 tonnes. If you passed your car test after that date, you would need to pass a further test to add C1 to your licence. Now let's take a look at those examples of vehicles, their weights and the licence you'd need to drive them. First, the popular Mercedes Sprinter L3, which has a maximum authorised mass of 3,500 kilograms or 3.5 tonne. With a mass in running order of around 2,415 kilograms, this leaves a payload of just over 1,000 kilograms. So if you're converting one, all your interior build, equipment, passengers and luggage can't exceed that. But as its MAM is 3.5 tonne, you can drive it on a Category B licence. Next we've got the Citron Relay L3 H2 heavy version. This has a plated MAM out of the factory of 3,500 kilograms. Its mass in running order is just over 2,000 kilograms, leaving a payload just under 1,500 kilograms. And in that format it can be driven on a Category B licence. However, with its heavy chassis, it can be upplated without any mechanical alteration to 4,250 kilograms MAM. That ups its payload to 2,200 kilograms, but you would need a Category C or C1 licence to drive it. You can find out more about upplating in our video, linked here and in the video notes. At the higher end of a Category C1 licence we have the Iveco Daily 70C18. This has a maximum authorised mass of 7,200 kilograms and a mass in running order of around 2,600 kilograms, leaving a huge 4,600 kilograms of payload. Again, because its MAM is over 3,500 kilograms, it can only be driven by holders of a Category C or C1 licence. Now we've looked at panel vans for conversion, let's have a look at an off-the-shelf motorhome. The eldest Autoquest 155 2024 is sold as a 3.5 tonne motorhome with a maximum authorised mass of 3,500 kilograms, so it can be driven on a Cat B licence. However, with a quoted mass in running order of just under 3,000 kilograms, and that's without any optional extras like solar panels, awnings or bike racks, it leaves a payload of just 500 kilograms. So if we allow 85 kilograms for the 3 extra passengers, that leaves just 276 kilograms for all camping gear, cooking equipment, clothes, food and leisure equipment, which isn't a lot. So are there any solutions for Category B drivers that need to transport more weight? Well, a trailer is one option. Drivers who pass their test after the 1st of January 1997 are restricted to driving vehicles that weigh up to 3,500 kilograms, as we said earlier. However, they can drive a vehicle-trailer combination that weighs up to 6,750 kilograms. So that could be a van with a MAM of 3,500 kilograms plus a trailer with a MAM up to 3,250 kilograms. This combination allowance also allows the use of a Clickstar style van. Pretty new to the market and more often seen in the EU than the UK, these are a van chassis that weighs under 3.5 tonnes and the rear portion that is in legal terms a trailer, allowing the total weight to be up to 6,750 kilograms and still be driven on a Category B plus E licence. We mentioned earlier the importance of axle weights. Something you may be tempted to do is to add additional storage on the back of your van. As I mentioned earlier, this is something to be conscious of. Let's take this 3,500 kilogram MAM van, which is currently perfectly legal, being under its MAM and both axles being under their limit. Let's say we wanted to add a 4 bike rack which totals 150 kilograms with all 4 bikes on, and we know the total weight would still be under the MAM at 3,150 kilograms. But we might assume this would put 150 kilograms on the rear axle. so it would still be under its limit. But due to the fulcrum effect, as the additional load is some distance around the pivot point of the rear wheels, this would be incorrect. It would actually reduce the weight on the front axle and increase the weight on the rear axle by more than the additional weight. Using the formula here, we can calculate that this added weight would take 125 kilograms off the front axle and add that to the rear axle, as well as the additional load. So it would actually add 275 kilograms to the rear axle, putting it over its limit. Thanks for watching our video, and as always, if you have any questions or feedback, please pop them in the comments below. If you find the video useful, please like, share and consider subscribing.